It's KFI AM 640, and you're listening to The Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app. KFI AM 640, it is The Conway Show. There's an update on, obviously, the rain that's coming in and also the Redondo Beach. We're following that story as well. And if you don't know that story, there was a stabbing. 3 people were stabbed. Redondo Beach update. It's also involves Torrance as well. Let's get an update on what's going on. 3 people were stabbed. A fourth was attempted to stab a 4th person. And this is a big, big story in the South Bay.
Investigators just wrapped up this scene after almost 12 hours. You know, we get sent to these bomb scares a lot, but it's not very often that they actually lead to a legit device. And in this case, it did. Investigators finding 2 incendiary devices that they properly disabled, and they spent the next several hours making sure that this area is safe. So they've left, and now all the action is happening about 4 miles away, related to these stabbings at the suspect's home. Skyfox above the 2-story building. It's this white apartment complex. You can see some Bearcats outside and about 20 police officers. Those Bearcats spitting out water. And police basically just as a precaution making sure that his home is safe after they found these dangerous devices here in Torrance. So they were over the scene for about the last hour or so, and they will continue to investigate there and make sure that everything is okay. But this all started back here in Torrance at this education school at about 8:15.
Robot down there. It's examining a backpack, and you also see a knife there in the grass. So
in close-ups from Skyfox, bloodied clothes and the weapon left behind at the scene of the crime. The terror and chaos unfolds at a K-12 special education school in Torrance.
Police presence were everywhere. I seen a robot go down the street. It was just really really amazing to me. I hadn't seen this much action since the riots.
This is a really bad scenario for parents. Whenever there's a stabbing at a school and you haven't picked your kids up yet, when you're driving to that school, you think the worst. You think your kid's going to be was stabbed. You think your kid's going to be injured, or possibly thrown in the hospital with severe injuries or killed. It's the worst case scenario. And when you're on your way to that school where there's reports of stabbing, you are driving like a maniac, blowing through lights, blowing through stop signs on the cell phone with your husband or wife or the kid himself, and it's a lot of chaos. A lot of chaos in Torrance and the Redondo Beach area.
Investigators say at 8:15 Monday morning, a former student stabbed 3 staff members at Switzer Learning Center on Amapola Court, and say he went after a 4th before running from the law.
We see the 2 victims coming this way. The ambulance showed up. One of them had all wounded, all bleeding from his shoulders. We seen the guy running down the street.
Police say after taking him into custody, the former student told them he's left behind 2 pipe bombs.
Great. Nice to have this guy in the student body.
Danny Rosales, who works nearby making...
They brought the bomb squad out. They brought the little robot out. It's out right now, but we don't know from there what else is going to happen.
During an extensive search of the backpack and entire perimeter with the help of that robot, the LA County Sheriff's Department bomb squad discovering 2 incendiary devices, which they rendered safe and assure the area's no longer in threat.
Things are happening everywhere now. People just...
That's right. They're crazy.
Hopefully, they'll put the guns down and the knives.
Yeah. Of course, I'm sure it was very terrifying for everybody inside that school, the staff members, and, of course, the parents. I can say it was a little startling for us in the media as well, 3 blocks away when the bomb squad was properly disabling these incendiary devices that are designed to catch fire. We didn't know what was going on, and when we heard that big boom, we all got pretty startled. Again, everything is safe here now, once again, though, in Torrance. Reporting live, I'm Haley Winslow. Back to you.
Okay. Looks like they have everything wrapped up there in Torrance, and there'll be a lot of investigating. The Dodgers had a really unusual play in the top of the 4th inning where they should have scored. They didn't. It was almost a home run that I think would have been a grand slam. I think they had bases loaded. I'm sort of watching the game half-assed while we're also doing the news. But but Milwaukee got out of the inning without allowing any runs. So it's still 0-0 in the bottom of the 4th. It's the first game of the National League Championship Series. Whoever wins this goes on to play Seattle, who's up 2-0 against Toronto, or Toronto if they make a comeback. So your World Series will be Dodgers or the Brewers versus Toronto or Seattle. And I don't know. I hope it's Toronto and the Dodgers. It'd be nice to see, two countries involved. The Canadians are very proud of their baseball, and it would be America versus Canada. That would be nice. If it's Wisconsin, Milwaukee, and Seattle, nobody cares. Nobody. And I'll bet you Fox and Major League Baseball are hoping it's not Seattle and Milwaukee. There's 9 people in Milwaukee that watch these games and 12 people in Seattle. That's not true. Seattle has a pretty good crowd and a pretty good following for the Mariners, and they're having an unbelievable year. So if it is Seattle and Los Angeles, I think it still will be well watched, but I think it'd be better if it's Toronto and the Dodgers. And look, I don't have a dog in the fight. I just want good ratings for baseball. I don't care if the Dodgers are in it or Brewers. Really? Yeah, that's right, Crozier.
Don't care.
No, I'm in it for the ratings. So
I've seen the videos of you.
Yeah, okay. Well, those are all Raiders. I went up for the ratings. I'm in for the ratings. And the ratings would be best if it's Dodgers, Toronto. Dodgers, Toronto. U.S. versus Canada.
Toronto.
Yeah, maybe we can get them back for beating us in hockey. It's possible. All right, we're going to keep an eye on that. And we have an update on the rain. The rain is coming. And it's going to be 5 a.m. to noon tomorrow. Depending on where you live, some more, some less. But it looks like Santa Clarita, for some reason, is going to get the lion's share of the rain, up to 2 inches, maybe even more. And in the foothills, it's going to get very, very wet. So please listen to KFI for all your warnings, all your watches, any evacuations, and we'll cover it all day long on KFI. Tomorrow is not a day to sit there and listen to music on one of the music stations. It's just not. You can do that on some other days when there's no big news, but when it's raining, you have to have it on KFI. I imagine, Crozier, if it's pouring outside, that your news department will have something every quarter hour.
I may not make it in tomorrow, Tim.
Okay,
I might get trapped at home because of the torrential rains expected.
I get it. Thompson will be here tomorrow, and that's great because he's a weatherman.
Hey now.
And so we'll crank up his weather knowledge.
Jim was freaking out over the weekend because she saw all the warnings for tornadoes possibly in the Southland.
Yeah, it is shaping up for thunderstorms and lightning too. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be, there'll be a danger factor. There might be some flooding. It's going to be wild tomorrow with the rain, and we'll cover it all right here. So don't turn your dial if people still have dials, because you're going to need it on KFI all day long, and it might save your life. I don't think I'm overstating that. It could save your life. So we'll see you all day tomorrow on KFI. It's Conway Show. KFI AM at 640. It is the Conway Show. The rain is the big story here locally. The hostages in Israel and Hamas, that's the big story internationally. But here in Los Angeles, it is the potential flooding. It is the rain, the mudslides. It's all going to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow, starting around 5 a.m. for most people till noon. That's when the bulk of the storm is going to hit. All right, let's get into some other news here. Costco's in the news. Everybody loves Costco. How Costco's clothing business became bigger than Abercrombie and Gap. The clothing business at Costco has exploded. Bill Handel, everything he wears is Costco. Everything I wear, I think, my pants are Costco. The shirt is Costco. The socks are Costco as well. And, I'm telling you, the shoes are as well. Everything I have on today is from Costco.
I have a Kirkland shirt on.
Yeah, it's great. It's great clothing. It's terrific.
They don't have a lot of items in the store, but what they do have, they buy it deep, and they can offer very low prices to the consumer.
The one thing I do miss at Costco are the jeans. They used to sell $15 jeans. Now the ones they sell are the stretchy ones. For guys that go up and down 20 pounds in a day. The stretchy jeans, I don't know. There's something yuck about that, about wearing jeans that are made out of, elastic.
So how did a wholesale member club known for $5 rotisserie chickens become a formidable force in fashion?
Let me guess. They put out clothing, people liked it, and they bought it?
Over the past 5 years, Costco has grown its apparel sales by nearly 40%. That's more than its competitor, BJ's, who grew the segment by 28%, and Sam's Club, who grew by 21%. Its apparel segment is also larger than Gap, Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger, Abercrombie and...
Wait a minute. Tommy what?
Tommy what?
Wait, what was that? Tommy what?
Tommy Hilfiger.
Oh, no. Dude.
Tommy Hilfiger. Go figure.
That would keep me awake at night if I had done that. Like, I would have been asleep and I were going to, did I say figure?
And then idiots on the radio played it back over and over and over.
And laughing.
And even Angel, who's studying these traffic and preparing for tomorrow, probably half-assed listening to the show. She's like, wait, what?
Tommy Hilfiger.
Totally got my attention.
That's great.
Tommy Hilfiger, Abercrombie & Fitch, and Old Navy. Costco's success hinges on a mixed offering of its beloved private label, Kirkland Signature, along with popular brand name products.
When they put their Kirkland brand on it, they can get very aggressive with low price. And they do a very good job of bringing in brands. You can find Gap products, you can find Lucky Jeans, you can find Levi's, and that's helped.
And what else?
Tommy Hilfiger.
Tommy Hilfiger.
Convince the member to step up and buy.
In its latest fiscal quarter, the company reported men's apparel sales to be up double digits.
Oh, that's pretty cool. All right, double digits. That's a tremendous amount in this economy.
Most of what Costco does is partnership. So it's lines that are made specifically for Costco. Often,
which lines are made specifically for Costco?
Tommy Hilfiger.
Oh, that's right.
Often Costco lines in branded apparel may be slightly different to the mainstream offer that's in stores of those brands. So it's a bit of a diffusion line.
Licensing is another way for big brands to get onto Costco's shelves. A May 2025 report from Women's Wear Daily said that the Saks Fifth Avenue brand name would be licensed to Centric Brands to sell men's apparel at Costco. But sometimes Costco's merchandising is less streamlined.
A lot of times you'll see in social media, Costco had this particular, brand that they never sell it in their Costco store on a regular basis. It's only in a handful of stores because they may have gotten it in an opportunistic way.
Costco is great at at not only at merchandise, but at promotion. They sold, I think it was last year, maybe last year this time, I think it was last fall, where they sold gold, ounces of gold. And I think they were selling them for I think at the time the price was $2,100 an ounce. And they were selling spot gold for pretty close to, the actual wholesale price. And if you bought a $2,100 ounce of gold, it's now worth $4,100. So you made $2,000 on your gold. Let's see what the gold. I know gold went up today, but let me see what the price is today. Let's see what the gold price is. Let's see. Gold price today is, I think it was $4,100. $4,159. It was up $26. But it was actually up a little more than that. And in the last 5 days, it's up $160. The last month, 1 month, it's up $440. In the last 6 months, up $932. And year to date, so this day 1 year ago, your ounce of gold is worth $1,489, about $1,500 more than it was last year. That's a 55, almost 56% increase. That's a lot. And gold is taking off.
There could have been a special overrun.
Some are predicting that gold hits $6,000 to $7,000 an ounce before the end of this year. Before the end of the year.
There could have been a special overrun at a particular vendor and they sold it to Costco. Other times they might buy it from another retailer or a third party that may have excess of that item.
That could explain why Birkenstocks are available on Costco's website. Yet the company told CNBC that it does not sell directly to the wholesale club. Costco declined to give an interview or comment to CNBC for the story.
Costco's apparel business is pretty no frills, like the rest of its stores. But people like that there's a treasure hunt appeal to
That's
it.
right.
Where you go in, you may not know what kind of brands there will be, but it may be your favorite brand or a higher end brand, or they're leaning into private labels.
And depending on which Costco you go to, they have different products there. So it's nice to go to 3 or 4 different Costcos.
And so they haven't just sold the gold; they've also sold silver and platinum.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, they've sold 1 ounce platinum bars.
Silver's gone up considerably too.
Yeah.
Silver that was at 20 an ounce, I think it's at 50. And I think that's a lot of the AI stuff. I think they use a lot of silver and gold. All right, the Dodgers at the end of the 5th inning, Dodgers 0, Brewers 0.
Did you just hear a yell come from over there? Did you hear
I don't know
that?
who that was. Yeah.
I don't know.
Was that somebody out there?
I don't know.
Hope somebody's not being attacked
Heard it
in
the
here.
hall? Well, I thought it was more applicable to what you're talking about.
No. Yeah, it is wrong because it's a commercial break. Oh, I see. Because we're on a delay when it comes to the Dodgers. They're listening to it next door at the Dodger station live, and we're watching it on TV. So we're about 40 seconds behind. So they ruin it for us by yelling whenever the Dodgers score or do anything, and then we see it 40 seconds later. And I can't get them to stop doing that. So what can you do? All right, rain tomorrow. Be aware of that. It's the first rainstorm. Freeways are going to be slick. Slow down and get there in one piece. We're live on KFI AM 640.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640, it's Conway Show. We got great news. If you're a Dodgers fan, you like Dodger baseball, Freddie Freeman has just hit a home run in the top of the 6th inning. And the Dodgers could have been ahead, 5 or 6 to nothing. They've had a lot of long outs in this game. So Dodgers won. Your Brewers 0. If you're a Brewers fan. And the Dodgers are still in the top of the 6th. Freddie Freeman, a towering high home run to right field. And the Dodgers up 1-0. Which is great news. Great news. And the Dodgers need 8 more wins for another party in downtown Los Angeles. 8 wins away from a World Series victory. 8 victories away. So let's get those. All right, let's talk about housing. Everyone seems to be talking about housing. Newsom signed a bill easing the California housing crisis. Some LA leaders are opposed to it. I think it was SB 79 that said essentially the state trumps all the local ordinances and height restrictions. So let's find out where people are going to start building homes and apartments and condos and triplexes. And maybe it's coming to your backyard.
Conversation with LA City Councilwoman Tracy Park. And she says she wishes the governor had spoken to her before he signed the bill because she says it will create more problems in her district than it solves. Governor Gavin Newsom signing into law Senate Bill 79, which encourages more housing construction by allowing developers to build affordable multifamily housing near public transit stations throughout California, even if local zoning laws would normally prohibit it.
It does allow mid-rise apartment buildings within a half a mile of metro stations, Metrolink, and rapid bus service where the bus lines are physically separated.
State Senator Scott Wiener says his bill is...
Oh, they're talking about the busways like the Orange Line, not a busway, like that's on Wilshire Boulevard, where they're talking about the Orange Line in the Valley that has its own, bus lanes that cars can't use.
Bus lines are physically separated.
State Senator Scott Wiener says his bill is critical in helping California get out of a housing shortage crisis.
We have a huge housing shortage in California. It's true in LA. It's true in the Bay Area. Housing costs are through the roof, and it's pushing out families, pushing out middle class, working class people. It's fueling homelessness. It's terrible for our economy.
My concerns about it are...
This is Tracy Park here. And she represents, I think, like the Palisades area and West Los Angeles.
My concerns about it are multiple.
LA Councilwoman Tracy Park says the bill fails to address how to navigate around building more housing near mass transit areas that are already overly congested with traffic and more.
SB 79, I mean, it effectively rezones huge portions of LA overnight. We're going to have multi-story apartment towers in residential neighborhoods.
Yeah, the race right now is to buy up all the property near these light rail and these busways. Anything that's near one of the stations, there is going to be tremendous bidding wars for that property. Like, for instance, we used to live in Tarzana off of Tampa, and I don't know, I think it's Oxnard, but Oxnard turns into Topham. I think it's Topham and Tampa. There's an old liquor store there, and then there's an old piece of property that's vacant. That property was not worth much, 2-3 years ago. And now with SB 79, it's worth millions because there's enough probably to put a 9-story apartment building on that property. And you're going to see that pop up around the valley and around Los Angeles at almost near every one of these subway stations or light rail stations.
This is an effort to Manhattanize Los Angeles.
We got mixed emotions from residents.
The San Fernando Valley is and stuff. I believe that, honestly, that we need this housing in this location.
There's just far too much traffic, and there's too many people that are all compacted into small areas.
Then there's the fear of crime.
My housekeeper takes the mass transit out to Santa Clarita, and she was just wearing a red baseball hat, just plain red baseball hat. And a guy came up and threatened her because he felt that she was a MAGA supporter.
Senator Rader says the bill goes into effect.
How about sitting next to that bright guy on the light rail? Oh, she's wearing a red hat. She must be a Adolf Hitler, right? A direct connection. Could be wearing an Angels hat. You're Adolf Hitler. I'm just an Angels fan, really, not a communist or a socialist or craziness. Just wearing the red hat.
Senator Rader says the bill goes into effect. Jewish projects will be phased in over roughly a 4-year period. He adds, below market rate affordable housing builders will have access to state housing funds to get the job done. Live outside of the Van Nuys train station, Leo Stallworth, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
All right. When we come back, we have an interesting story coming out of the San Diego Zoo. A gorilla charged at guests and broke the glass enclosure. How about you're at the zoo when that happens and panicked? We'll have that story when we come back. Also, an update on the Dodgers. It is still 1-0 Dodgers in the top of the 6th inning. Dodgers are still up. Max Muncy is at bat with 2 on and 1 out. 2 on and 1 out. All right, we're live on KFI AM 640. KFI AM 640, it's Conway Show. Snellzilla with the LA Dodgers in the 6th inning is pitching a 1-hitter. 1 Milwaukee hit in 6 innings. And man, is he still throwing. Boy, oh boy. He's got a strikeout, 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. This guy is firing. Woo-wee! All right, let's talk about the gorillas here. There was a gorilla that charged the glass enclosure and it broke. Yeah. Well, if that's not obviously ideal, and probably scared the hell out of the family that was next to the glass. Let's see what that sounded like. Let's see if we got the audio here.
In slow motion, this cell phone video captured by a witness shows a 10-year-old gorilla named Denny at the San Diego Zoo charging the glass. The impact startling people who saw it happen, but no one was more shocked than Katya Sutil.
We were actually looking down at our cell phones, so we didn't notice that he had taken a running start.
Well, what a fun group to be with. You go to the zoo and they're all on their phones. Man, oh man, I can't tell you how many people I see at sporting events or at, I don't know, the theater or any kind of outdoor activity, everybody's always on their phone. Always. And you see a lot of it at baseball games where, Shohei Ohtani's up at bat and you see everybody behind him is taking video on their cell phone. So they paid, in the playoffs, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a seat. And now you're watching the game on a 3-inch TV set instead of actually enjoying the game. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Why would you go to the game and then watch it on a 3-inch TV set? It just seems odd. And then who would you send that video to? Who cares that you were there? And you'll never, share that video with anybody. Or if you do, people that get it are like, okay, that guy's bragging that he spent $4,000 on a seat. Who cares? All right, back to this gorilla busting out.
We were actually looking down at our cell phones. So we didn't notice that he had taken a running start, jumped, and then launched into the glass, and he hit it with his elbow or his forearm, right into the glass, directly in front of my face.
Katya was celebrating her birthday at the zoo on Saturday with her sister. The two spent about 20 minutes observing the gorillas, even taking some video of their own minutes before Denny charged.
I was so jolted, I fell back a few feet, and then when I looked up to see what had happened, I just saw the gorilla staring directly at me, making eye contact with me, and then this giant crack. And I mean, this crack propagated probably 6 feet. It was pretty big.
The impact broke the first layer of a 3-layered glass panel. No one was injured, but the force scared Katya and her sister.
There was definitely a moment where I was like, did I look at you weird, or did I do something to provoke this somehow?
Denny is a western lowland gorilla, part of a critically endangered species. His 3rd birthday in 2017 even made headlines. As he got older, he transitioned to living with his half-brothers.
The two gorillas were kind of going back and forth, kind of taunting each other, stalking around. So there might have been some tension going on, between the two gorillas.
Yeah, well, they're living in a cage their whole life, and they get letters and texts and emails from their other friends who are living in Africa who have millions of acres to live on. And these guys are living in 9 square feet at the zoo. And you wonder why they're pissed.
It's unclear what led the 10-year-old gorilla to react in this way. But one thing is very clear, from now anyway, Katya will never forget this birthday.
Honestly, my sister and I have both been super shaken up, so I might be taking a break from the gorilla exhibit.
That was Juliet Vara reporting. Zoo officials say that gorilla was not injured when he slammed into the glass. The two animals who live in the enclosure are now being kept behind the scenes until that glass is repaired.
All right, that's good news. Don't forget, tomorrow, lots of rain coming in. The majority of it, 5 a.m. tomorrow till noon. 5 a.m. to noon. Santa Clarita getting up to 2 inches. Pomona, almost 2 inches. Lot of rain coming in. The holidays are very close. And if you're looking for a job, maybe your kids are 16, 17, 18. They're looking for some kind of winter job. They're hiring. Lots of companies, major retailers. Hiring right now for the holidays.
If you're looking for seasonal work or a side hustle, now is the time to apply. Amazon will hire 250,000 workers who can earn, on average, over $19 an hour. That's $1 more than last year. Okay. New job postings will roll out every week now through December. Meantime, Target and Walmart, instead of a big seasonal hiring push, they are mostly offering additional hours to their existing employees. Target is also going to lean into its on-demand team. That is a group of 43,000 employees who pick up shifts to fit their schedules. Now, if you're looking for a seasonal job that turns into full-time work, Kohl's is hiring across the country in their stores and their distribution centers and their e-fulfillment centers with the potential to transition into long-term. Macy's is also hiring for the holidays, and not just for Macy's, but also Bloomingdale's and Blue Mercury. They're looking for full-time and part-time holiday employees for their stores, their distribution and fulfillment centers.
That's amazing that Amazon is hiring 250,000 people over the holidays. That is unreal. All right, Andy Reesmeyer is on, coming up at 7 bells. How you, bub?
Ding dong with you.
Ding dong with you.
The rain is on the way.
Yeah, that's the big story.
Storm Watch 2025.
It's significant. It could be 2 inches
now,
in Santa Clarita.
That's a lot of rain. Now, as you know, whenever there's real weather, they don't have me do the weather.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Who does it?
Well, the real weather
Frisky?
people. Yeah, well, but here's the deal. Vera Jimenez coming on at 8 p.m.
Oh, that's cool. I love her.
Give us a little preview. Yeah,
she's great.
I hear that you're a fan.
She used to come on with us over at KLSX. I don't believe there's a nicer woman in news than
That's true.
Yeah.
That is an empirical statement that has been evaluated by the FDA.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So, yeah, lots going on there. Do you have any batten down the hatches routines or rituals that you'll be engaging in?
I have. I constantly have a leak in the back, the garage leak. So
you go to the doctor about this.
Thank you very much.
I'm sorry.
But it's not bad. I've caulked it enough where it looks like it's going to hold. But we get a lot of rain in the backyard that does seem to come in the house when it's over 2 inches.
It's really crazy. The city and the infrastructure, not to get everybody in the mood talking about infrastructure, but it's not designed for this.
Right.
We're not hardy people. We're not ready for it.
And we're going to have these swift water rescues and the homeless pluckers.
Yeah.
They're going to pluck these guys out of the river, and it's or you'll see a dog that falls in, and we'll follow it from Studio City to Burbank.
One of the greatest chases of all time.
That was great. Yeah, to get that dog out of that.
I mean,
river.
3 hours. That guy was tired.
I know, it was great.
All
right, Andy Reesmeyer from KTLA here on weekends every Sunday.
That's right.
From 2 to 4?
2
to 4 p.m.
You got it.
And the rain starts 5 a.m. tomorrow is the big, the majority of it is 5 a.m. to noon tomorrow. And that'll be the end of it.
Yeah, and then we'll go on pretending like it never happened 2 days later. We'll forget that we do this every few months.
And I'm sure you'll keep an eye on the Dodgers score as well.
I'm excited. I'm going to be watching it right here. I can't imagine we'll have one listener.
Well, there are some people that
and the people who are listening don't care at all. You know what I mean? It's like I'm okay with that.
Ohtani's up right now. I say he hits a home run.
Let's see it.
Let's see what he does. We got about another 30 seconds here. Let's see if he pops one out. He's 1 for 18 so far in the playoffs, or in the I guess it was the second series.
He did not swing. There was a pitch, and he did not swing.
He was supposed to pitch today, but they want to take him and have him concentrate on hitting, so he's not going to start until Game 3.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Bang!
Oh!
All right, there you are.
So and he's out.
Grounded out to first. All right, well, there you go. All right, Andy Reesmeyer next, right here on KFI AM 640.
Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app. Now, you can always hear us live on KFI AM 640, 4 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and anytime on demand on the iHeartRadio app.